Welcome to the show, everyone. As you all know, I talk about everybody else but me on this show. And I love that. I love to be able to do that because I help people get the word out about what they do on my show. My first guests, they have their own show here. They use my show to have their own show. I have with me Havie Bravo and Howard Farkash, and they are the principals of Bravo Insurance Agency. And they're here the first Thursday of every month at 12 o'clock. You know that Havie and Howie are here on the air. And they want to talk a little bit, you're here to educate people. And I just want you to talk a little bit about yourself and what you all are going to talk about today. Listen up, guys, because this information, I love my show. I love my show for the information that people get.
Well, thank you, Carol. And we have special guests here today. We have Stephanie Garcia, and we also have Marcy Gillette here with us. They're new associates and partners that we have between Havie and Howie show to send our people for mortgages and help with that.
Right. I'm going to kind of go and introduce everybody separately right now because because we have a lot more people than we normally work with.
That's right.
And I want to have everybody hear that. First, I want to talk about you and what we're going to talk about today. We're going to bring in your guests that you have with us as well. But Howard, I want you to talk. I haven't had you on here for a while. It's been a long time,
about a month. It's been a while since I've been here. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk today about financial tools. Insurance is a financial tool. Of course, in its simplest form, we all know that life insurance will yield a death benefit when someone passes away. It's a means of protecting a lifestyle, continuing the education of children and things of that nature. But there's other financial tools that life insurance works with. And that's why we brought in the mortgage people today, because they do work together in terms of one kind of balances the other and quote-unquote insures the other.
Right. Now, what I want people to know, too, is about how you work with people, because you're wonderful to work with. You really get to know your clients very well, and they become family. They literally become family.
Family, friends.
Well, we're not hit and run artists, okay? A lot of people can't find their insurance man when they need to have him.
That's right. We take an interest in their needs for themselves now and also for the future.
And what makes you different is, one of the things that make you different is how many of the different opportunities they have when working with you and getting whatever insurance plans, but also because you have so many different carriers that you work with that you can literally help anybody.
Well, Howard and I have the luxury of having over 73 carriers to find the right solutions to everyone's needs, be it life insurance, disability income, health insurance, anything like that, long-term care, Medicare. We have solutions for them.
And we don't have cookie-cutter solutions. They're each individually worked out.
And if you are looking for insurance solutions, you better call Bravo. They're the people to call. Their phone number to call, it's 480-818-3665. The website is bettercallbravo.com, and they work nationwide. Now, you do have some people with you, and I want to introduce them now. And I have with me Stephanie Garcia. She's the associate of Bravo Insurance Agency. And with them and her, you also have Marcy Gillette, who is a strategic partner of yours as well. So you just run the gamut of every area in insurance that you can help people.
Surely, no doubt about it. Just about everything financial. Give us a call. We know what we're doing. We know how to do it. We sit down with you. We find out all about what you're trying to accomplish, and then we get it done.
By having Bravo Insurance on your side, it's like having a Swiss knife. One tool for doing a lot of different things for you.
You know what? That is a great analogy. It is like having a Swiss knife. A Swift. It's easy to use. You Swift it. So okay, but it is so true and it is really true. As I've gotten to know you in the last year or so that you've been on the show, I have learned so much about insurance and the different things that it can do. It is a tool. It's something that people don't realize all the different things that they can do with it. Let's break it down a little bit.
Absolutely. There's so many fields of insurance that you're talking about. There's life insurance, health insurance, disability income, Medicare for older people, disability income, as I mentioned, and long-term care. Sooner or later we get older and we can't do the things we used to do. And
I'm getting there.
When it gets really serious, you need some help. And you can either fund that by yourself, or you can get some help, pennies on the dollar. You can buy a means to get to the care that you need when you're older, so you don't have to burden your family members with your care or the expenses to provide care for you.
You mentioned several things before we came on the air, and that one of them was that you can even reduce debt.
Oh, yes, well, that's another tool that we have essentially, that you can use life insurance as a tool, once again, in order to reduce that debt. You can take a 30-year mortgage and you can get that taken care of, satisfy that, service that within 10 years, and look at all the interest you'll be saving. You can use that interest for your future retirement and to buy the things you might want.
And there's multiple ways to use life insurance to fund a key man policy, or to fund a life insurance to cover a mortgage, to finance loans against cars or commercial loans as well.
There's so many different ways, and people don't realize this unless you have like a conversation. And everybody has a story, right? Everyone has their own story and their own needs. And until you get to know them, that's how you know how you can service them.
Well, that's right. As far as learning whether we can be of service to people, we have to ask the question. I visit with some people on Medicare sales, Medicare issues, and I do ask, tell me about your retirement plan. What's the source of your income going to be when you turn 65? And sometimes we find people who will actually reach into dresser drawers and desk drawers and find policies they haven't looked at for years, and they're ready to sacrifice them, turn them in, cash them in, etc., not realizing they have a small fortune in those cash value life.
You don't know what you have in those drawers.
Right. Well, that's a bit rough there, but that's okay.
I'm sure I got some in there too.
Well, Howard, considering the market the way it is, it's very unstable. A lot of people are looking at their paperwork now and say, listen, hey, I need to guarantee this income for later on.
Either guarantee it or make it better.
Right.
Exactly.
And we're able to guarantee that income for not just now, for
so
later
people,
on.
what I'm hearing from you, should also have second opinions.
Absolutely.
Surely.
Right? And I mean, if you have something and you've got to dust it off. You got a lot of people have things that they buy and purchase a long time ago, and they stick it into their drawers, and then you turn around and you remember when you start turning 60, I guess it's probably 60 now, that you starting to think about certain things.
Well, at any age, you need to start for a plan for the future.
That's for sure.
At any age. And talking about insurance, going back to life insurance, do you have the old kind or do you have the new kind? The old kind, you have to die. That's a heavy price to pay. The new kind is the living benefits. You don't have to die. What's worse than dying? Living through an illness.
And the old kind is probably what you find in most of those dresser drawers.
Right, those are the old ones.
Exactly.
You want to make sure you get the
interest, and again, only having a death benefit as opposed to a living benefit.
I'm telling you now, if you have an old one for sure, you want to have them do a second opinion for you and have them updated, because you'll be very happy. We're going to come back and talk a bit further too about those kinds of things as well, of what people can do. You can call them. Please call. BetterCallBravo.com is their website, and call them and talk to them. It's a free consultation. They work nationwide. They're wonderful to work with. Their phone number is 480-818-3665. Just before we go to a break, what's so wonderful about the new life insurance?
Well, living benefits. It pays while you're alive. From a heart attack, cancer, stroke, or losing 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. Pays you while you're like tax-free.
You know what? I know somebody who just the other day found out that she might have a situation. Okay, and so she's a little bit worried about it, because what she said to me is, I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't work. And I said to her, well, you know what, that's the reason why I got a life insurance policy with living benefits, because of that. Now, I'm not saying that can help her for right now, but people, listen up. This is the kind of things that we don't know what's going to happen to us. She was perfectly healthy. Everything is fine. They find a little something that they're checking out, and her biggest worry isn't whether or not she has something. It's whether or not I have to work.
That's right.
And if she can't work, she can't pay her bills, and the bills got to be paid no matter what.
Well, that's another example of money when you need it. That's basically the definition of insurance. It's money when you need it.
Now, there you go. And you know what? If you or someone that you know are in this kind of situation, give them a call. They do a free consultation with you. Dust off all of those old insurance policies that are old and have them updated. Their number is 480-818-3665. They work nationwide. Their website is bettercallbravo.com.
Very good.
That was nice. We're going to continue going live in here right now.
Right.
Okay. So for you, Howard, right, what have you found So I'm sure that when this new insurance policy came available to people, you must have really gotten excited.
Well, I was. It came out about 8 to 10 years ago.
Okay, but a lot of people still don't know about
They
it.
still don't know of it. There's only 7 carriers that sell it.
Hmm.
So out of 2,000, that's very few.
But here's what I think too, which is really neat, is that you've got Howard, and you, who have been with you forever, right?
Mhm.
That every single person that did have a policy with you that was the old one, you got to call them and say, hey, we have a new policy.
Right, and everybody's very receptive to hear
Right.
about it.
And they're excited. What have you had happen with, your clients that have changed? Are they excited?
They were excited, and what they did is they might have retained the old plan, but added this to it.
Okay.
Because you could never be that same age as you used to be. Okay? Or that.
So they add to it.
They
Let's
add to
talk
it.
about that real quickly when we get back and how that works, and then we'll go back into how the mortgage side of this, okay?
It's amazing.
Am I right?
That's
that we're
fine.
doing it? Okay.
Amazing.
You're gonna
Because mine's older than
You're
mine.
gonna
Because
get talking
they're
action
mortgage-
in the second
mortgage
half.
they-
Right, she works in our office.
Okay.
It's going to do the insurance as well. But when someone needs a mortgage,
Okay, I just
work
wanna make sure I have that, okay. It wasn't something separate with her, that's together, right?
Right.
they're
Right.
together, but she works with
I
us.
understand.
They all, everything works together. The
Right,
whole
gotcha.
thing is that you got it.
I was
they
just
all
trying to
work
figure out who
I
I'm
didn't know
talking
this
with, that's all.
would be so fun.
It
And
is fun.
I love watching you guys. This is good.
But no props today. I usually bring props.
Yeah, you do?
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck or casserole. Or Carol's
Where's
home.
the casserole?
Carol's smooth.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing.
She's silk.
Like a scarf?
Look,
Yeah,
he's
like a
turning
scarf.
red.
Sorry.
A scarf, yeah, give me a scarf, yeah.
You liking it?
Oh, I love it.
I do too.
Yes.
This was a good
I
one.
think we came off very well in
Very
that,
good.
yeah.
You did a great job.
Had a lot of fun.
It was
I mean, remember the notes I used to make and everything, so wired?
It's very live.
Not a single
Hmm?
note, not
What's
a
that?
single note. I didn't make any notes.
Oh,
Yeah, well, this is something else. This is going forward. The conversation stimulates things that I need to do. So that's what this book is all about.
So welcome back, everyone. If you are interested in learning how to kind of have some peace of mind, you got to listen up here with what you're listening to. We've got right now Havie Bravo, who is the owner of Bravo Insurance Agency. Also, he has with him his guests that he brought, both Stephanie Garcia and Marcy Gillette Tell. And we were talking at the break about so many different ways of how you can utilize life insurance with living benefits. And I had talked to you a little bit about how all the people who had older policies, thank you, that are now, you've got probably calling them saying you got to check out this new policy, and you explained to me how they work. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, Carol, Howard and I have a luxury of having some clients from the past before living benefits came to become more and more popular. So we have gone back to these clients and say, listen, you're never going to be that young or that healthy again, but we can still add on this new policy to your existing policy. So we just add on to their existing portfolio some living benefits. It helps them out tremendously.
And I think what people need to know too, because when it comes to life insurance or insurance in general, everybody just thinks, especially if you don't have it until you're older, money. It's all about how much money is this going to cost me a month, right?
Surprisingly, the cost of living benefits policies are not that much different than the traditional old-fashioned ones.
I was super excited about it, and let me tell you something. Anybody out there, if you're single, okay, especially if you're single like me, I was single, thinking, what can I do? I now gave myself some peace of mind. God forbid something happens, and also for anybody really. But I just happen to say that for single people for sure. But anybody, it's an awesome product.
Well, Carrie, you're right, because something happens to you, but your kids are still working, right? They can't take care of you. This money will help you find the person to take care of you while you recover. So you don't lose your home, you don't lose your credit score, and then you can't finance a new mortgage, for example. And that's why we have these young ladies here. They're going to help us out with that.
That I'm excited to talk about. It's amazing of how many different areas of insurance that these products and that become tools for you. And by hearing these things on this show, maybe it's you, maybe you know somebody, your parents, I don't care who it is, you talk to them about it, and you know what, you become educated. So let's talk about some of the other things that you can use them for.
The life insurance?
For the mortgages.
The mortgages, okay. Well, the insurance will pay off, of course, if they have to pay down or pay off a mortgage, okay? So that way the family that remains doesn't lose their house, doesn't lose their lifestyle. The children don't have to change schools or change friends. That's a big trauma in these kids' lives. We don't want that to happen. We want them to stay there, finish their schools, and be happy.
Right, you want to give them stability.
Very much so.
Right.
So how does it work with mortgages? And first of all, welcome to the show. And so how does somebody, they already have, let's say, a 30-year mortgage, and they speak with you, they have a consultation with you. Let's talk a little bit about how that looks for them.
As far as the mortgage itself?
Right.
Well, I just want to say that for so many people, and coming through a year of pandemic, they've put a lot of things on the back burner. And the mortgage has been one of them, but our climate for mortgage has never been better. We're at all-time low rates. So it's time for them to quit the panic and then look at their financial needs and look at their largest debt, which is the mortgage. And so what we do is we do a full consultation of their mortgage, just get their entire picture similar to what Havie does, and then we define the best financial product for them and work along with Havie to ensure that financial product is protected for as long as they want to be in that home.
Well, you work nationwide with people. You do free consultations. Their phone number is 480-818-3665. The website is bettercallbravo.com. Okay, what else about?
Well, we would recommend, for example, in the case of a mortgage, we would, in the case of a mortgage, we'd be inclined to look at that new type, because it's one thing if you die to get your mortgage paid off, and that's great for your survivors. But how about if you become disabled or injured and can't go to work? You're going to be living without and being able to see the chaos that you've created by not having those living benefits. So that's the secret of the old mortgage protection plans are pretty much going away because the new ones are supplanting them. So it's important once again.
I like that word, supplanting.
Oh, excuse me.
He's a word master.
Anyway, so that's the help that we give, but there's even more help that insurance policies can give, and that is to actually eliminate that debt inside of 10 years. You got a 30-year mortgage. Just think of how much interest is included in that 30-year mortgage. But if you can pay it off through the use of insurance tools, you can get it down to 10 years. Then you're back to spending your money the way you want to spend it. Essentially, you're creating for yourself your own bank through some life insurance policies.
You redirect those mortgage payments into a pension plan, so you could build that up for retirement.
You know, I think what's interesting is that people really need to do is just listen to the information and take it and say, I should have a conversation with Havie and Howie and Stephanie and Marcy, and sit down and talk and find out how is it possible. All you'll know is whether they can do something or not, right?
It
Well,
costs
it's
nothing to
peace of
call us.
mind.
Yeah.
It's the peace of mind, right? And
Absolutely.
knowing with your mortgage and talking to us in the insurance office and how you can secure your lifestyle, right? And not losing your home through living benefits or taking out a policy that gives cash back values that you can pay off your mortgage sooner. There's so many tie-ins that people are not educated about, myself included, until I came on with Havie, and it's been eye-opening and enlightening to know that there's
And you've been in banking for how long?
20 years.
She's been in banking for 20 years
Mhm.
and is getting more information now through Bravo Insurance rather than anywhere else as you've been going on. You said it's eye-opening. And that's what I love about this show, is it's eye-opening for people out there. This information could be just wonderful information for you.
We change
your
lives.
life.
We
It
change
is.
lives.
We said it at the
That's
same
life-changing.
time.
Life-changing.
Yes, it is
Yes.
life-changing.
And I do want to add that the climate right now couldn't be better, because keep in mind, when people are in their forever home and they come to us, we're saving them money. So they
Is it a refi?
yes,
What
if
would
you refi your mortgage, most people have not put this on the back burner, like I said earlier, and they're long due to refinance, and that means money saving.
You know what I think too, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to ask you. A lot of people were doing refis before the crash, right? A lot of time, and I think that so many people are hesitant to do certain things because of that crash. That really affected a lot of people, especially in the in the residential, and
Market.
commercial market.
Correct.
Right? So I think maybe that's why people are hesitant to say, well, what should I do? Well, what happens if, right?
Well, the products are different than they were back then.
That's why I wanted you to talk.
The stated income only and things like that, they're gone for the most part. That's what got them in trouble.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
things are different.
Way different, and the rate is much lower. So when we talk about offering insurance coupled with a new mortgage, then it may cost them very little, because they're already saving on their mortgage. So now's the time to definitely look at this.
Have a conversation with them. It's a free conversation just to talk to them a little bit about, how they can help it. Like you said, it's all about peace of mind. And as we get older, and it doesn't really matter how old you are, you want peace of mind, right? But as we get older, we tend to want that even more, because we know we're not going to be working forever, even though I'm working till I'm dead, I'm telling you now. But most people are working, they work longer, but they're not working as much, right? They get that Social Security, but I think a lot of people also, when they get that too, they're excited about it, but then realize, well, wait a minute, it's not as much as I thought.
As you thought,
I
right?
think that's what the big thing is right
So
there.
I can encourage people to just call us as a 411 situation before it becomes a 911 emergency situation.
Their number to call, it's 480-818-3665, bettercallbravo.com. They work nationwide. It's a free consultation. What else you want to finish off with real quick? We have less than a minute.
I think I just want to say, don't wait, right? Like, we talk about the peace of mind as we get older, but it's so important to do it when you're young, because we don't know what's going to happen in life, right? And a lot of times we don't think about it until you get that 911 situation. And so just don't wait to call.
Well,
call right now.
And for those parents out there, send your kids to us.
Right.
We can help them and talk to them now to help them so they don't call you later on for help.
What's your final words?
And I think what we're talking about is, don't wait. Well, what should you do? I'm not going to wait. Learn. Find people to talk to and learn about
Educate yourself.
personal finance.
Don't procrastinate.
You better call Bravo. I'm telling you now, that's why it's called bettercallbravo.com. They work nationwide. Their phone number, write it down, 480-818-3665, bettercallbravo.com.
And there's operator standby.